Hello Earth sign, Marina from the Butterfly Effect, a day late, we're already slipping. Starting with Capricorn, moving on to Virgo, and then Taurus. Now when I got to Virgo, we got the Truman Show, okay? So that's literally probably going to be the story for all of it, although I'm going to keep it really specific if I can for at least Capricorn before I move on. But yeah, really vivid. So a clockwork pumpkin came up for you, Capricorn. I did get that in my weekend readings. I think it may have been one of the air signs. So it's a clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment and perception. I actually got on this hidden in plain sight. One of those aha moments is about to happen when you're paid a visit by a pure spirit of inspiration who's delivering an incredible gift. You will be given an idea and vision and epiphany. Its source is the divine realm of heavenly ideas, and its time is now, and you are being chosen to bring it to life. It will work beautifully as long as you put the steps in place one after the other, almost like clockwork. Despite the mechanical imagery, there is no mechanical idea, although it will no doubt be very inventive and could concern a brilliant solution to a mechanical problem. It is sparkling pure genius. Never forget that Thomas Edison dreamed the light bulb, so please don't doubt your intuitive self when it becomes a delivery system for this wonderful innovation you are in charge of. Now, whenever I see this card, it says a clockwork pumpkin, I always see an apple. And I think that's the thing about the perception. I have my filters, you have your filters, but what is real? The solution is hidden in plain sight. It's almost like the very thing you're looking at is not is not actually either how it's your perception of it. Not that it's wrong, it's just your perception of it is different to possibly others. And I think it's your perception in this case that needs to change. And indeed, if it were to change, it is going to provide you with some relief. 9 of Swords in reverse here. Because the perception, it speaks about the backstory of this card is that she's running through a garden or a forest actually, and it's dark and it's scary and there's thorns and she's literally terrified. She finds a door, pushes into the door and is put into, you know, a dark tunnel, a complete darkness. She can't go back because that was too scary, so she just sort of, you know, feels her way through the darkness and gets into the other side. And the other side is the same garden, but her perception of it has changed. It's the same garden. So it can be like seeing a forest in the dark and seeing it in the daytime, and obviously they feel completely differently. It's the same thing you're looking at, but you need to change your perception in terms of finding some sort of solution. Now, I think for you, I actually got give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So I think this for you guys is specifically probably related to work. 9 of Swords in reverse, 6 of Pentacles upright and the 3 of Pentacles. So we're talking the Pentacles here. And whatever this perception shift is in you, it's going to take you out of this overthinking, this fear, this anxiety about how to find a solution to something. Because in the 6 of Pentacles, it talks about kindness, benevolence, bringing things back into balance. So I'm seeing specifically, I was looking at him as a merchant, which all the Pentacles are. He has 6 Pentacles here and he's dribbling 4 into this beggar's hand. The other has yet to receive. But ultimately, he is the sole provider of the funds and is trying to be fair with what he has to offer. And no one else is earning here. This is like one person, one source of income, and a lot of mouths to feed. And then we move on to the 3 of Pentacles. And I think the aha moment is if you were actually, I don't know if it's moving you into a teaching field. There is, you know, an ability you have, a talent in some way, but it feels like pulling together with the 3 of Pentacles because it's collaboration I am getting, you know, lecturing and teaching a skill to almost, you know, upgrade the people that you're having to support. So maybe to do with fisheries, with that coming up. It could be to do with, you know, investments. The Three of Pentacles here. He is showing these other two people the way to earn what he earned, so that he doesn't need to support them. So it's like a win-win solution for everyone. And that, I think, you're still working with the same, you know, tools, so to speak, probably even the same people, but it's like a redistribution of skills. It may even be, in fact, let me just take a bit of Lenormand on it. So, you know, there might be like some start-up funds required, you know, moving from the Six of Pentacles to the Three. You may have to invest a certain amount, but it is then a case that you've just got more people working on the same issue, and ultimately that is going to bring better results. Show me the Six of Pentacles for Capricorn. The Well. The Well can talk about, you know, something that's very, very deep emotions. Also, it speaks to me about, you know, bringing something to the surface. The Six of Pentacles for Capricorn, please. More specifics. The Bear. The Bear is about money and the Mother and power and business. Okay, Capricorn, Six of Pentacles and the Three. The Ring is a contract, a financial contract, a business contract, a contract with the Mother. But this speaks about, I don't know, someone here, if you're a boss or you maybe, you know, you have a boss. It can also be around food. I'm just feeling that there's a better way of doing things, Capricorn, in terms of the distribution of wealth. But it involves, you know, more hands. Let's see, Three of Pentacles for Capricorn. I can't quite get it. The Rider. So the Rider speaks about news, an announcement of a contract. So it is financially related. Money, contract, news, mail. Can be the mail, as in the post. Oh, I've got a woman here. So that could just be the woman that I'm reading for here. I've got the Mask and the Coffin at the base of the deck. So the ending of any sort of deception. Not really adding anything to where I'm already at. The Ring and the Mother, or the Bear. Well, must be the Mother because I said Mother. Surprise, money, gift. Yeah, surprise, money, gift. Okay, so there is a solution here. I don't think it involves anything new. I think it's looking at the same issue, whatever that is for you, Capricorn, and repurposing quite possibly. But it most certainly involves bringing things into balance and sharing either money, definitely money, gift and surprise. So I don't know what you're coming into money or someone you're connected with is coming into money, but it almost feels like rather than maybe just, you know, I mean, obviously there is a contract here, an announcement of that, but it might just be, you know, the money in itself. I feel rather than just handing it out, because it's not obviously an inexhaustible source. It is a lump sum of money. It feels like, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's something that can grow and be, you know, cycled, recycled, rather than just being shared. Okay? But the perception needs to change. It doesn't need to change, but if it were to change, it's going to bring in better insight, better ideas, more abundance, so that it's not, it is ultimately becomes an infinite source of income for all, rather than just a one-off payment. So it's like, you know, buying an annuity. It could be that. Yeah, I was going to say don't do that, can't give financial advice, but it's a bit like that, because I did get investment club and pulling together here as well. So, you know, you could give someone 100 grand and they're going to blow it in 3 years, or they buy an annuity and they're going to get, you know, 6.5 grand until they die, but they could be dead in 2 years. It just feels like there's a certain amount of money. It's obviously some sort of surprise, and it is going to enable someone to certainly release any anxiety they've got with regards to money. But then it's a case of what do you do with it? And I think what the reading here is trying to say is that there's a better way of using the money to ensure that it's an infinite supply, and it can be of more use to more people for a considerable longer length of time than just a one-off payment. Yeah, okay, moving on to Virgo. Tidy up, I might get some repeaters. So Virgo, this is where the Truman show came in for me. Okay, so you got 3 cards. You've got the imaginary friend, yeah, childhood treasures resurface, the fairy ring, new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements, and a clear solution. Again, I think for this is, you know, business focused as well for my Virgos. So the imaginary friend talks about rediscovering something that you've discarded sometimes from your childhood. It doesn't need to be an actual thing. It can be a talent, or, you know, a love of something, your imaginings from your younger days. It can be that they can be like, you know, polished up or restored. It's like getting all your old toys out, if you have any, or old mementos, or just having a trip down memory lane and reminding yourself of what gave you pleasure as a child, and sort of bringing you back to, you know, your essential self as the child. It can speak about a childhood friend coming back, or a visit to your old town or your old home, maybe some sort of unexpected encounter with the past that triggers an old memory in you. But it seems that it's going to take you on a new course, with the new course of, you know, possibly study here. So it's like rediscovering something you really love to do, or really wanted to do as a child that you never did follow, and then taking the steps in that direction, refreshing your skills, starting, you know, a new course of studies, I say. But it's something specifically that has to bring joy, and it's something that you would be excited about. It's not something you would do purely for, you know, a financial return, for example. And then we've got the clear solution, a way through the barrier. But with all of this, once I got the tarot, this was literally the Truman show. And the imaginary friend is obviously Cristoff, you know, his father in the sky, so to speak here. And basically being part of a circus, literally being involved in a complete circus that is his life, his fake friends, his fake wife, his fake job. Everyone in his whole life is a fraud. And the clear solution, the lantern, was where I would see him burrowing out of his house in the middle of the night, you know, setting up the dummy so that he looked like he was asleep. Because even though none of it could possibly make sense, I mean, if that were your environment, it would be that the truth would be beyond fiction. He still intuitively knew that something was very, very wrong in his life, and that the people around him were in some way fake. And obviously there was clues that started to appear. But the thing about Truman is, and this is I'm coming back to a wee bit, touching a wee bit on Capricorn, is he always wanted to be an explorer. And that's all they talked about in school. But, you know, the teacher would say everything had been discovered, and, you know, it's like his natural instincts were thwarted constantly because he was just being programmed into being a product of his environment, really. And here we see the Chariot in reverse, the Two of Wands upright, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Wands upright. And to me, this is like, this was his hopes, to travel the world, the Chariot in reverse, to explore. And he sat here and he's always making these plans. He always had these plans, and he would go into the travel agents frequently, but there would always be a reason why he couldn't fly, you know, why he couldn't go anywhere. He was just stuck on this island with his little globe and making his plans, looking out into the horizon. And he was utterly trapped and stuck. The Nine of Pentacles reverse and the Eight of Wands upright. So to me, this would be, this is when he starts to notice, the glitches. He realizes that he is living out the same day over and over, you know, interacting with the same people, saying the same things, realizing that their behavior is utterly odd. And he then, you know, chooses to be a little bit impulsive on that day. I forget his wife's name, because obviously he met Sylvia. I do actually see her a wee bit in the Nine of Pentacles here. She was like an extra on the show, and she warned him, or at least tried to warn him before she got plucked out of the program, that his life was a fake, that it was a TV program, that, you know, and they had an instant connection, and obviously it was observed. So she was, you know, removed because, you know, his life was mapped out. You know, the actress that was chosen for him was to be his wife, and that was it. So, but he never did forget her, So this Eight of Wands here, I mean, obviously the Nine of Pentacles speaks to me about firstly not having the confidence, or being thwarted, you know, in so many ways, having so many doubts because it doesn't make sense. And the Eight of Wands is this desire to travel, but I actually saw that as the day that he kind of lost it and jumped in the car and decided that, you know, they were going on a trip, and they threw everything at it, you know, roadblocks and wildfires. I think there was a nuclear explosion or a radiation leak, something like that. But it was all designed to keep Truman in the program. So, Virgo, I don't know where you're at, but there is something from your childhood that you've probably held on to. You probably haven't moved in that direction for many reasons, one reason or another. And the clear solution here with the Eight of Wands, I mean, this could just simply be that you have had a life experience, or a number of, that you're being encouraged to communicate about, you know, maybe write about them. It can be specifically related to travel. Maybe, you know, that's an area that you've not been involved in. Maybe you like to, you know, work with cars when you were a kid, or, you know, demolish stuff. Whatever it may be, there is something from your childhood that really was a passion, that was probably stamped out. You know, you went off to college and you got into the circus of life, and now you're maybe getting to that stage where you're looking for a way out, and there is a clear solution here. So let's have a look for Virgo. What is the Chariot in reverse related to the imaginary friend? The mice, the loss, a theft. It's almost like, I mean, it can be. It's like having your youth taken from you, your childhood taken from you. But it can also suggest that your inability to move in the direction you want and, you know, follow your life's path has created some anxiety, because in some level you know that things are off, that you're not where you're supposed to be. It's the bit where he's in the building and the lift opens and he sees all the actors and then he's, you know, gaslit out his nut that it didn't happen. It creates a disturbance, you know. The Two of Wands for Virgo. What is the Two of Wands with the... I think that the Two of Wands is just the plans. Oh, crikey. Betrayals. This is a snake here. The snake can also speak about anything that's long and winding and seductive. So maybe, you know, whatever you're involved in now did have a certain allure. But it can also speak about a betrayal and, you know, infidelity, jealousy, pride, rivalry. Let's see where the snake's pointing. There you go. About the travelling, about the moving, about the exploring, becoming an explorer. He became a freaking insuranceman. And he wanted to explore, but he's been thwarted. He, she, you. Because of the snake at his back. And it might be that this, you know, pumpkin, which I always see as an apple, you know, it was alluring, but it's not what it was. It's not what you got. It wasn't even something you could eat. It wasn't nourishing. It was a mechanical. Everything's mechanical. Everything is fake. And the Eight of Wands. So what is this clear solution? Is the Eight of Wands is to get the hell out and dodge. It's to, you know, go where you want. Follow your happiness. The Sun. Get your confidence back. Follow your happy. Go wherever that is. There is a way out, but you're probably going to have to sneak out in the middle of the night and burrow a hole into the front garden because they'll be watching. So a bit dramatic, obviously, Virgo, and you can obviously shrink it right down to fit your circumstances, but there is definitely a feeling here. Well, it is just the Truman Show, that someone's life path has been thwarted, and probably from a very young age. So even though it may seem, you know, fantastical and unrealistic, you know, it's not. It's not. Okay, and moving on to Taurus. Now, Taurus, I'm sort of seeing this as the conclusion of the story. The carnivorous fairy, a tempting offer has a high price, and the eclipse mermaid, a powerful energy shift. I'm actually seeing the carnivorous flower fairy as Cristoff here, up in his, you know, fake moon. So this is a narcissist is in your midst. It's someone who's charming, someone who's cunning. You are their supply, as Truman was. He was the star of the show, so they had to keep him there. So he's their source, a way of getting something. So this is talking about not to be someone's victim here. Now, it can be a person, it can be a workplace, it can be something that's all-consuming, cult-like in many ways. It's a dangerous alliance, and with the energy eclipse mermaid here, she talks about revelation. It's about truth coming out, scandals being revealed, and it's about all change. I did get her on the weekly, and she came up with the child elemental, and that to me came through with the admission and apology from the Irish government about the hideous treatment of single mothers and all the deaths of thousands of babies. I think we're still to wait to hear from the church, but it sometimes is something comes through the internet when it can be this card as well. But it is a powerful shift, and usually a shift for the good, and the shift is moving away from this narcissistic, you know, this is the snake, something alluring, something seductive. And you've got on the carnivorous fairy the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Swords. Now, to me, this was then shown as, this is Truman, when he gets on the boat, and basically Cristoff is prepared to kill him, to stop him leaving. This is the imaginary friend, the imaginary, or the all-father. He's, you know, taking him as a baby, and actually in some level thinks that he loves him, but no, he's literally prepared to kill him to stop him leaving. But he doesn't, because the Ten of Swords is in reverse here. So there are lies, there's deception, there's betrayal yet again. And the Eclipse Mermaid, hello, the big energy shift. Six of Wands and the Fool. I mean, it's like a happy ending as he gets back to Sylvia. Yeah. Oh gosh. So this is success. It's also validation. So if you've been dealing with, you know, a narcissistic person, and, you know, maybe you've wanted to prove it, maybe no one believed your side of the story, maybe it was too fantastical to believe it, this has been acknowledged in the Six of Wands. This is returning from the battle and being acknowledged, and a brand new beginning with the Fool. I'm just going to take a wee bit more on that. What is it he says at the end? Or what is it he says all the way through it? If I don't see you. Oh, crikey. If I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Is that it? This is him walking out of his fake life and into reality. So let's have a look at the Ten of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Swords for Taurus with the Carnivorous Fairy. I've got letters, so there's communication here. Can be any sort of communication. Can also be relating to documents, you know, proof, writs, certificates. Show me the Ten of Swords reversed. This is talking about publicity or exposure with the Garden. Some sort of public exposure or communication that becomes public that is going to create this energy shift for you, Taurus. Show me one more for the Garden and the Seven. Ow. I'm hearing close every door to me from, there we go. This is all the blocks going up. Mountainous blocks literally appearing in front of your eyes as you try to get out the door, as you try to leave whatever it is. I mean, it can be a group of some sort with the Garden card here. Can speak to any sort of meeting, group gatherings, society. And this is, this can be like, I mean, gang stalking sounds too harsh, but that's literally what popped into my head. But this is creating doubt and suspicion. It's also, you know, a card where the clouds, it creates depression and mental disturbance and blocks, obstacles, enemies. There's actually some fear here, and some blocks that need to be, you know, the clear solution in the Virgo reading talks about a block, that something is ended, but there is a way around it. The mountain, there is a way around it. It is not a full stop, but it can take some time to get around it. But we do with the Eclipse Mermaid. So show me the Six of Wands with the Fool for Taurus. Six of Wands with the Fool for Taurus. Close every door. It's from Jason and his multicoloured dream coat. You have to go back and get your multicoloured dream coat. Don't forget your coat. Six of Wands and the Fool for Taurus. Stars and the Foxy. So the stars is about following your destined path. It's about a fated event. It's about things becoming really clear as well, really clear regarding the tricky, cunning, narcissistic energy up here. Really clear. And that clarity might come through communication. Secrets. Oh, I do have the heart at the base of the deck here, and I'm seeing Sylvie as his secret love. So ultimately, it's like he gets out. Okay, that's the earth reading. He gets out of whatever it is he's been involved in his entire life. The pennies are starting to drop. So it is really a lovely reading. Obviously, you can all take your own different bits from it, but that is the overarching story. Right, guys, that's your weekly reading. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.